Yeah, I don't know the white and blacks situation there. I don't know.
There is also always this question, that why is it that between very strong players there are such scores? What is the explanation? Is it really the difference of styles and exactly that style doesn't fit the other, or that maybe simply that after having a lot of bad games against someone, then you already psychologically collapse a little bit? I mean, because it's not objective reason why you are having such a bad score against someone,
Did you ever have a terrible score against a player, Peter, in your career?
Yeah, there were some, also some things turned. I mean, I remember that at some point I had very bad score against Shilov at the beginning, like middle of 90s, end of 90s, and then suddenly from 99 I started to have a very good score against him. But for example, the one that I never managed to turn was against Aronyan. I mean, Levon Aronyan proved to be one of my worst opponents. I mean, I lost also a lot of critical games to him, and playing against him, I never felt comfortable.
He's got a very unique style, hasn't he, Levon? He can make mysterious moves and very good.
Yeah, exactly. And also when you start to have a bad score against someone, then this affects you psychologically. And Levon, somehow I always felt that he's a master of this feeling, this psychological moments, and he was always making it to his good use.
Absolutely. Just a few minutes left. And what about you, Peter? Let's talk about your, let's say, chess career going forward. You're still enjoying playing, but you're also doing a lot of coaching at the moment. Is that right? With some of the biggest talents in the world?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm working with Vincent Keimer a lot, the last 2 years. I haven't been active lately. Okay, last year I played quite a lot of tournaments, but still, I mean, once you kind of lost your focus from giving all your attention to over-the-board plays, it's very difficult to play, And combining coaching and playing, somehow it's very, very difficult. So I also try not to put already too much pressure on myself, because usually, whenever I play, I have high expectations, not entirely result-wise, but just I want to play a good game. I want to create some ideas. I want to show good opening ideas. However, somehow I felt like I was lacking the energy. I was just too ambitious, and probably that way, I mean, when you are not focusing 100% on just your own play, then it's very tough to have these high expectations.
And what about online Blitz, Peter? I've never seen you play a single game of chess online. Blitz, Rapid, what's the story? Are you going to start jumping on the bandwagon?
Yeah, well, maybe, but actually I enjoy doing the commentary, and then I also don't feel if, should I really start playing? On the other hand, now there are so many events. I also have this feeling that I used to play like some 15 years ago. I think until like 2010, I played quite some online chess, and I was quite good at it. I do recall our match with Alexander Morozevich. I mean, that was hilarious. I think in like 2006, we played some match on the internet with 10 games, and it ended with 5-5 and no draws. And you know, it was very funny that we didn't know. We both played incognito, so he had no clue who I am, and I had no clue who he was. And then we thought that, okay, let's count 1, 2, 3, and on 3 we will write who we think was your opponent. And I wrote Moro, and he wrote Leko. Simply by the pure chess-wise, I felt like only Moro could have beaten me like this, and he had also the same feeling regarding my chess qualities. That was really funny.
Brilliant story. Very quickly, Morozevich, he's also basically retired. I barely see him play. Do you know what he's doing nowadays?
Well, I don't know exactly. I mean, he's into many different projects. Actually, it was a very nice and great idea. I'm very, very grateful to the Abu Dhabi Chess Club, because last year they organized a match between me and Morozevich in Abu Dhabi, and that was just fantastic to play with him. But at the meantime, already the games have started.
Let's
so
go.
Let's jump into the action.
Korobov, Dubov, we're going to start here. Or should we go? Oh, no, I think we have to go to Mamedyarov. What am I saying? They will kill me if we don't go to Mamedyarov, Carlsen. We'll keep an eye out on Dubov as well. Mamedyarov, Carlsen, we have this Slav here with Queen B3.
Yeah, it's a very solid choice.
Yep.
And maybe a very clever one. I mean, trying to confuse Magnus.
Indeed.
Because I don't remember Magnus having such a big experience with all kinds of sidelines of the Slav. Yeah, most probably if he goes for the Slav, he has some special idea. And yeah, now this will get to some Queen's Gambit, yeah? Or he spices it up, yeah, he makes use of it with d takes c4, Queen c4, b5. That's the way to, that's the spirit. Because after all, okay, what was this Queen b3? White, yeah, got the center, so-called, but what has changed compared to the Marans? A part of White losing some time with Queen takes c4 and coming back to b3. In fact, I'm not liking this for White. I mean, it seems like Black is just perfect here.
Okay, a6, a4, I guess.
Yeah, a4, yeah. a4 had to be played
C5.
because it kind of stops c5, but c5 comes anyway because there is the back rank problem on a1. Exactly. Is that the point?
Must be.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very important, yeah.
Absolutely.
c5. So what is happening if a, b, a, b, rook a1, I mean rook a8, sorry, bishop d5, intermezzo.
Oh, wow.
Zwischenzug.
Beautiful.
Bishop d5. But what changes? I go queen d1.
I haven't quite understood it yet.
But I mean, okay, yeah. I mean that, yeah, if I go queen d1, you take on b5, I take on a8, you take queen a8, I can take d takes c5. I mean, that's a little bit of a problem. Shakriya goes queen d1, so a be played. Bishop b5. But okay, now Magnus can rely on just cd, and if white takes cd, then he just castles and has very nice compensation.
Exactly. But his winning chances here are very slim, no?
Okay, it's a very tricky position because white is also playing for advantage, yeah? So, yeah, probably objective, the position is dynamically equal. But I would say that black has no problems. I mean, feeling-wise, but who knows? Queen d3. I mean, it's a long-term compensation.
Dubov has drawn in the meantime. So that has ended in a draw. So that means that Dubov will be top of the tree regardless of what happens in this match now. 94 by Magnus Carlsen.
Yeah, and these are the typical positions which are very easy to play with black in blitz, yeah, because all the moves comes automatic. White is the one who has problems consolidating. So I would say that maybe black is more comfortable. I think black is the one who is calling the shots here. This long diagonal. That's why I wanted to go back with the queen to d1 and have d takes c5, because I just did not want to allow this cd structure. This looks too ugly. h3, Magnus will play h6, yeah. This is the typical scenario. Yeah, black makes a tempo his move, and white burns time.
Bishop
Yeah, very sad choice, but it had to be played. It had to be played.
95. Okay, and he wants to take back with the d pawn, or what does he want?
Yeah, it looks like it's very drawish, but it's still unpleasant.
Bishop takes e5, queen d5. Magnus in full control.
Yeah, but on the other hand, yeah, white should be able to hold this. So probably it was a very good practical choice by Shakhriyar. He goes rook d1 and then tries to change with queen f3. And you remember, yeah, that 4 against 3 with double pawns, it's the easiest draw.
Sure.
This is his defensive mechanism, probably. But rook d1 maybe runs into f6 and some pin on the d file. So white has to be careful. Yeah, queen g3 is played. But what? F6, bishop f4. Shakhriyar down to 17 seconds.
17 seconds only for Shak here. Bishop d6, queen g4. Magnus, a minute and 30 up.
Yeah. Okay, it's very unpleasant for white, but at the same time, he kind of stabilized. But did he stabilize?
King g8.
Some f5, f4 will be a threat. Where to go with the king, yeah? Even king f6 is possible, but king f8 is played.
Yeah, all the back rank squares are covered, which is useful.
Yeah, very useful. Queen h4. Yeah, let's go back with the king to h7. That's it. And now already f4 is hanging in the air because bishop f4, rook d4 will be very annoying. So rook d1 played. And now e5. Hang on, e5 is very strong. F4 is played.
Because it's bishop c1, but this feels as though Magnus is finding, I mean, rook d4, what is this? Why can't we go rook d4 here?
Yeah, you can, but he's already wanting more, yeah? I mean, white's pieces are so misplaced, but finally he goes for it. Takes queen g4.
Yep.
Queen e4. Yeah, queen d1, only move probably to save the bishop. Bishop c5. Not just the pawn, but the domination. Yeah, that's the biggest problem. And the clock. 3 seconds for Shakhriyar.
No chance, in my opinion. Queen f1, king h2, e5, g3. Shak hanging in there. Skin of his teeth.
Yeah, queen c2.
Yeah, you could take on g3 now. Or g5 or something. Takes. G5 was horrible, opening up the king. Magnus Carlsen, 20 seconds.
But it feels like that white has some chances to survive, yeah?
e4 and bishop e5 check.
Yeah, okay, queen g4, it's not the end of the world. It's in fact getting closer to a draw.
Very close to a draw now.
How to avoid extra?
It's just should be a draw. Well, maybe not. Carlsen.
Yeah, very tricky position, yeah.
King f7, g6 will be played.
Now it's lost. Now it's probably lost. Yeah, the king just walks over and will dominate.
Bishop e7, I guess.
f5 had to be played. Yeah, bishop e7.
Bishop g5. Bishop g5. Nice, yes. Bishop f6, king e5. Now he's tricking him. Needs to control the f4 square. King d4.
Still not easy to see how to make progress, yeah?
Trying to triangulate. Trick him. Very good work by Shak here. 8 seconds, Magnus Carlsen. Can Magnus find a way? Doesn't seem as though he can somehow. King c3, king c4.
Yeah, now he has to win some time. Yeah, he will just move around with the king. It might, yeah, bishop d4. This is correct. Otherwise, it might have ended in a 3-4 repetition already.
Right. King e5, the bishop running out of squares, but maybe some h5. No, he wants to keep the pawns on. Bishop d4 now. Bishop e5. Oh, king e3. What is this? That's it. h5.
Yeah, h5.
Last gasp attempt here. What is this?
I don't know.
G5. No, it's
just a draw. Yeah.
Just a draw.
Wow. What a save by Shakhriyar Mamedyarov, yeah?
Huge save by Shakhriyar Mamedyarov.
Amazing.
Amazing stuff. Shakhriyar, how did he save that position? Well, that time when he's a pawn down, amazing save.
Yeah, but here it already felt like Magnus missed his momentum.
Where do you think was the key moment then, Peter?
I mean, I thought that the point was that until Magnus was dominating the position and Shakhriyar was very low on time and he can keep the tension, then it's very difficult to defend. But once it gets very technical, then a level of Shakhriyar Mamedyarov can already defend such position even with very low on time, yeah?
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden it's much easier for White. I mean, White knows what he's doing. And can we go back to that moment when Magnus could have played e5 and he somehow took this pawn or played f4? I was not so sure that he had to take that pawn so easily.
Right.
I mean, here there was this e5 move, which was interesting.
Yeah, e5 was interesting here.
Because, I mean, can you imagine? The point is that it's connected with the clock situation. Shakhriyar had something like 5 seconds. You are faced with the e5. How do you react at all?
Yeah, you can't even react, right?
You can't react, yeah.
Directions, yeah.
I felt like this was because probably after f4, bishop c1, rook d4 also Magnus missed something, but at least then for Shakhriyar it became much more easy. If he's not losing by force, then he can play his moves a tempo. He gets the 2 seconds. Magnus is the one who is thinking. Magnus gets more nervous, and Shakhriyar is back in the business.
Incredible. And then, yeah, after that, it was kind of, his task became a little bit easier. It was still tough, but amazing defense. Shakhriyar Mamedyarov.
Yeah. I mean, once he managed to change this f-pawn for the g-pawn, then I kind of felt like in blitz, with 10 seconds on the clock, draw will be the most likely result.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, what a day. Let's do a quick summary. Daniil Dubov, the young Russian, the dark horse, leading the tournament, 8 out of 12, and a big half point saved. From his perspective, Magnus Carlsen unable to beat Mamedyarov in a commanding position. Quite shocking, really, that he didn't play e5. So Magnus Carlsen on 7.5. Mamedyarov himself still in it on 7, as is Lequang, Svidler, Korobov. Well, maybe Lequang, Svidler on 6.5 there. You know, a 1.5 behind, it's not completely out. You would have to think Korobov 2 points behind the leader is probably very unlikely. And I think now we can rule out everybody else. Boujangi, Zhang, Grischuk, and Anton pretty much gone. I think it's going to be one of these 5 guys: Dubov, Carlsen, Mamedyarov, Lequang, and Svidler. Only one of these can win it, in my opinion. And the action is going to be phenomenal again tomorrow. Magnus Carlsen knocked off his perch, but it's not over. We've seen it so many times. He comes back. He puts in a final shift, the final day. Let's see what the first round pairings are tomorrow. Straight out the gate, Carlsen, Korobov. He's going to be eyeing that one in a big way. And then we've got Svidler, Mamedyarov. Dubov White against Anton, Peter. You know, Dubov, he has to set the tone tomorrow, and he has to get off to a flying start. It's a good opportunity to get against an out of sorts David Anton. Buzhanji, Grischuk, not such a relevant pairing at the moment. Svidler Mamedyarov, big game as well. If Peter wins that, he's really in the mix again. And Le Quang, if he beats Zhong, also he's in the mix. What a day. I'm excited. I don't know about you. I think it's time to go and relax for the evening. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Thank you again, Peter, for all of your fantastic insight and wisdom.
Thank you very much also everybody for watching. It's really a pleasure, and thank you Chess24 for organizing this event. It's just incredible together with FIDE. Also, FIDE has done great things. It's great to see so many action in chess world.
Absolutely is. And remember, guys, before we go, get yourselves a premium membership. You support this tournament. You have access to all of that fantastic stuff. We'll be back tomorrow, 3 o'clock Central European time for the women's tournament. And then it will be this main event, the final days of both tournaments. It's going to be action-packed. Looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Thanks very much and see you then.